So, Sadhguru, welcome to Boston. I read that you started learning yoga when you were 11 years old, and your first class that you taught was when you were 25 years old on 23rd September 1983 to 7 students. And now you are changing lives all over the world with your concept of inner engineering and yoga. So please explain to us the essence of that inner engineering and your concept of yoga.
See, if you utter the word yoga today, particularly in this part of the world, people are thinking about twisting their bodies, standing on their head, holding their breath or whatever. The word yoga means union. When we say union, what we are looking at is, if you look at the fundamental longing of every human being, wherever they are, they want to be something more. If that happens, something more, something more, something more, endlessly.
Right.
So if you look at it, all they want is limitless expansion.
Right.
Limitless expansion means you want everything to be yours, or you want everything to be you, if that is possible.
Right.
You can either make something yours, either by conquest or shopping or just inclusion.
Right.
So inclusiveness happens because you have allowed your life, the fundamental life energy to mature into a dimension that it spreads itself. If you sit here, you can experience the entire universe as yourself. If you are in such a state, then you're called a yogi, and the method that you employ to get there is called yoga. Or in other words, it is about understanding the fundamental mechanics of life, how life happens, and what binds it and what liberates it. So inner engineering is not a concept that I make up or somebody else makes it up. It is about understanding the laws by which life is happening. So inner engineering means to structure your interiority the way you want it.
As I told you, I'm a physician, and you have described human body as an amazing gadget, okay?
Is it not, as a physician?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
With all your education,
absolutely.
You still can't figure it, isn't it?
Yes, there's not much we don't. So we as physicians are constantly told that yoga can make so much different in the physicality. It's very hard for us who don't know what can yoga actually help you with, what in the physical health, and what are the diseases that it can prevent, what are the diseases that it can cure. Does it treat or does it heal? So could you explain some of the physical benefits of yoga first?
I would like to classify all ailments into two fundamental categories. One is infectious diseases, which is an external invasion upon the body.
Sure, I agree.
For this, you're doing chemical warfare.
Yes.
Pharmaceuticals are chemical warfare, you're poisoning them out, all right?
Right.
You're gas bombing them or chemical poisoning them, it's fine, it's an extreme step we're taking. We're poisoning ourselves also by that, but it's all right because otherwise, death or damage, that's a choice. We're choosing some damage instead of death, which is a smart choice.
Okay.
But 70% of the ailments that human beings suffer are self-created. That means your own body is generating this. Largely because, to put it very simply, on various levels of who you are, on the level of your mind, physicality, energy, emotion, there is no ease. Most people do not know what it means to simply sit in ease, this is the whole problem. If there is no ease, it's called dis-ease.
That's a great way of putting it, I like that.
So, right now, you may be little unease, but a continuous state of unease slowly manifests itself as a physical damage.
Right.
It is just like this. You're driving your car. Instead of driving on 4 wheels, you drive on 2 wheels.
Right.
It's little difficult to do, but you can do. If you do this, then one part of the car will wear out very badly,
Right.
the other part will not be used.
True.
Right now, this is the way most human beings are living. They're leaning, skewed towards this or that. Some people are lost in thought, some people are lost in the compulsions of the body, some people are lost in their emotional turmoils, some people are living in a very volatile state of energy. Like this, different states of dis-ease is happening. If one simply sits here, let's say, this is a simple way to check. You ask your patients or you try yourself.
Okay. Okay.
Just one day, take off from everybody and everything. Get rid of your phones, computer, television, books, everything.
Difficult task.
Simply sit in one room. Eat well and simply sit, not sleeping, alert. Just sit. Then you clearly know, one 24-hour segment, if you sit like this, you know what is the state of dis-ease you are in. Whether it becomes a medically recognizable or diagnosable ailment or not is a question of how sturdy your constitution is, what parts of your body are inherently weak from your parentage or whatever.
Right, right, genetically.
Depending upon that, it will play up in that way. The dis-ease is in the system. Because there is a disease, what you are recognizing or diagnosing as a disease is more like an indicator flashing up. So, in chronic ailments, whatever the symptoms that you're seeing, they're essentially like the proverbial tip of the iceberg. Right now, modern medicine is purely symptomatic. So, when it comes to chronic ailments, modern medicine can manage the disease for people. But they cannot remove it because the problem is not in the symptoms. The symptom is dependent upon who you are.
Right.
For the same problem, you may be showing asthma, I may be showing diabetes, somebody else may be showing blood pressure or something like this. For the same stress level or for the same disease that three of us may be going through.
Right. But once somebody has a disease, I can understand the prevention part, living a healthier life. But once somebody has a disease, can yoga cure any disease? Like a lot of times we hear claims people who have cancer have been cured by yoga, or people who have certain diseases which are already established by the medical world. Are there any diseases that you feel that can be cured by yoga? Because I see back pain and a lot of things,
The spinal problems, essentially… See, there are certain parts of your body whose ability to regenerate is very high. There are certain parts of your body where the ability to regenerate is not so high.
True.
So it depends which type of… what type of manifestation, let me not call it a disease. For the same dis-ease, what type of manifestation is happening in your body, accordingly, what part of the body, accordingly whether it can recover quickly with certain practice or not, will happen. So there is no one standard, yes, we can cure everything. In principle, yes. Anything that is chronic, yes. But in practical sense, on a day-to-day practical sense, now somebody has cancer, now I will never tell him do yoga, I will tell him just take the treatment.
Absolutely.
We will help you to recover from the treatment because treatment is so exerting and damaging to the human body. After that, so that relapses and repetitions don't happen, we can put them on various practices. When somebody is at a risk of life, that's not the time to do yoga. That will be silly to do that.
Sure.
But at the same time, for various other things that people are suffering, which may not be immediately life-threatening, but over a period of time it'll curtail their life, it'll curtail the span of their life, such things can be easily reversed with yoga. If you talk to me about hypertension, I would say 100% we can get you back. Diabetes, 90% to 80% we can… 80% of the people, we can get them back. If you talk about cardiac ailments, unless serious damage has happened, most of the time we can get them back. These are all things which are the big killers in the world.
Right. How about a lot of what we see as physician is a lot of back pains which we feel, which we learn that is treated.
You look at the
by-
way the American furniture is. If you sit down, it sits. I'm bolstering myself up to sit straight.
I better sit straight.
I'm saying
Okay, right.
spine is not one piece of bone as you know it.
Right.
It is a delicate arrangement of bones.
Right.
And it is the conduit for the entire nervous system to pass through.
Absolutely.
Because in the process of evolution, as the neurological system got more and more complicated, nature saw it needs protection. So slowly it assembled this, and it has various other possibilities apart from just the way medical science is looking at it. In yoga, the spine is seen as the axis of the universe.
Oh, really? Okay.
Already if you have back pain,
Uh-huh.
if I say you your spine is the axis of the universe, it looks very threatening. Why this is so is, why this is said is, your experience of the universe is just the way it's happening within you. There have been things where doctors have given me a few weeks to live sometimes in this country. They said, I'm a blue light emergency, I should not get onto your plane. But in a matter of weeks, I recovered completely by doing a few things within myself. I don't want to go into the entire process, but I went through, some 18 blood tests, in 18 different hospitals, and some 7 MRIs, and they all said, this is it.
Really?
There's nothing we can do because we don't even know what's the cause of this.
Okay.
But in 2 weeks' time, I completely recovered. In about 21 days, I was trekking in Tibet
Oh my
at
goodness.
18,000 feet above the sea level, okay?
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Why I'm saying this is, see, this whole entire body you constructed from within, isn't it?
Right.
You did not build it from outside. This entire body you created from within. So the manufacturer of this body is within you.
Right.
So if you have access to the manufacturer, once you grasp that, fixing it is not difficult because when you're able to create an entire body, doing a little repair job is not such a big deal.